What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon, and hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe. Hit that like button. Damn it. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And let's get into it, okay? It is the 26th of January. Here we are at about 5:80. 8 hours, 23 minutes left of the day. We did hit a low yesterday of about 563. That was a little bit lower than I expected that we'd go to, but we did close right around 570. So I don't think we technically broke that level, right? A wick is not the same. Like, we didn't break the 660 level. We faked out, we wicked, but we didn't break it here, right? Even though we saw prices consistently above it for a few days here, we didn't break that 660 level. We're not breaking the levels of support that we had originally designated, right? But it did go a little bit lower than I thought it would have. I don't think that's a problem, right? You're seeing this big move happen with very minimal amounts of volume over the weekend. Nonetheless, there's definitely going to be some cause to go to the upside here, and I think what we're finding is like a relative double bottom. We zoom out. I mean, it's a bit of a reach, what I'm about to say, but it is kind of like a cup with handle, kind of. I mean, I see it. If you look at it from the lows, right? Like, if you just connect the dots on the lows, it kind of works, actually. If it's not a cup with handle, maybe it's some other pattern, but whatever. It's just an uptrend with a downward sloping consolidation phase. We're going to be breaking out to the upside. It's definitely not a bull flag. It's definitely not. The way I drew it, it kind of looks like a bull flag, but no, it's not. It's definitely not a bull flag. We are losing volume as we're losing price, which means we're likely going to turn around. If we were pumping and we were losing volume, then I'd be scared, right? Like here, we had lower highs, we had lower levels of volume as we were pumping up. We had less volume, there was no interest. But then the volume kicked in when we moved down, right? And then so we went lower. And the volume died off as we went lower, so we went higher. That's just kind of how it is. Not always. It's not that simple, but sometimes it really is. And right now I think it is. Looking at it here, we're definitely decreasing in volume as we're moving lower. Looking at this on the 1 hour time frame, and before we get into that, I just want to say, for the people who are here and then gone, I do expect that from this area we are going to recover and pump and see new all-time highs, if not something around our current all-time highs, around like $4,300, something like that. And I say around there, $3,700 is pretty close to $4,300 in the context of $580 to that level, right? We don't have to get to $4,000 to get close to the all-time highs, but I do think that we're going to be going that direction. Inevitably, we will see new all-time highs, but from here, this breakout move should take us, I think, anywhere from about like the mid 2000s to the low 4000s, if not above there. I'm thinking something between $3,000 and $4,000 personally. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, zooming way the hell in now. There's a little bit of volume. It's a little bit, though. It's really not that much. It seems like a lot, right? Like, if you're zoomed in, it seems like, oh my god, the volume's picking up. But like, you zoom out and it's like, actually, no, it's pretty damn instant. It's like the same volume that you had here on this candle, and it didn't do much. That didn't do anything for you. Why why would it change here right now? What I will say that I don't like, let's see, maybe I don't like it. Let's see. No, I don't mind this as much. I mean, we are kind of finding resistance at prior support, but if it was this prior support, if we were finding resistance here like this, I might be a little bit more skeptical. This I actually don't mind, because here we have a flat base while technically getting higher lows. So that's actually positive structure. I don't have a problem with that. 1 hour time frame, looking at the indicators, pretty neutral readings here, of course. Pretty neutral readings on the stochastics as well. I mean, you could bounce from here, but you could come down and reset. Maybe we do. Maybe we do go back below 574, something like that. We can, and if we do, it's okay. The MACD is still in bearish posturings overall, and actually would call for lower prices. So let's just imagine that we do go down a little bit. Maybe we don't hold this area. Maybe we're not in this kind of ascending triangle formation on the 1 hour time frame. Maybe we are going to sell off a little bit, and if we do, 572. 570, somewhere in there, should provide support. I don't think that we'll go below this low. I feel confident enough to say that that is the low, but if we do go below this low, that's okay. It's not a problem. I doubt that we do, but again, if it happens, it's okay. It's not a problem. 4 hour time frame, looking at this here. The RSI, you see there's bearish things about it, but the bullish thing I think matters most, which is the double bottom, right? double bottoms, double, triple tops. You don't mess with that typically in the RSI. That's a pretty good look there. And you technically do have a lower low with that. It's like bullish divergence to some degree. That doesn't mean that you have to go through the stratosphere, but I don't know. I don't mind the RSI here with the double bottom. It does look bearish overall, but that double bottom really steps in to save the day. It's the one thing making me think from here that we don't go lower than these lows. But again, if we do go lower, be aware of fake outs. We go lower, as soon as we break that line, people panic, and that's actually the best time to buy, and then we come back up. Be aware of fake outs, okay? Right, like here, you're holding this line as support, holding this line as support the whole time. Maybe we can shave it up a little bit. Everybody's like, as long as we're here, we're fine. And then as soon as we broke through there, that was the low points, right? That was the actual low points. You're holding this point of support the whole time, right? Support, support, support right here. Then as soon as you break below it, it was a good bit below. It went from, about 555 all the way down to about 518. But still, as soon as you broke right below it, that was the low, and then you moved up. So don't be afraid of lower prices. They're likely going to be the end of this move down. But perhaps we found the end already. Perhaps that is the end and we are ready to move up. We'll see. The stochastics have promise, but right now it kind of looks like you're rejecting the 50. I don't like that. And we got 17 minutes left in this 4-hour candle. Again, I think that we might go down just a little bit. And we could see a lower low. But right now, I'm not calling for a lower low. I'm calling for something around 570. We're at 576, so very, very minimal amounts of price action. Nothing too crazy. The MACD looks like it wants to get above the zero, but it's not. So overall, I would say you're in a very bearish environment. So do be open to the idea of going below these lows. It can happen, and if it does happen, that's probably the end of it. Right? Maybe we stop at 550. Maybe we stop at 540. Maybe it's all the way down to 510. We look at this on a low to high perspective from our fib retracement. And, 553 is where the next fib is. Well, 0.5 is technically not a fib, but still. The 0.5 level at 553, Bitcoin Cash loves to find support just below its 0.5. So 553, 526, somewhere in that area actually wouldn't be too crazy at all. We get that lower low. We get lower than all these lows here. And as soon as we get that lower low, it's really just a higher low in this overall trend, and we move up, right? And again, I don't see us moving down a terrible amount because as we're moving down here, there's less and less volume. So I really can't imagine that we move too much past 553. Looking at it, if we are to move down. By the way, again, I'm not calling for these lows. That's not what I'm calling for. If this happens, I'm not going to say I was right. I told you this is where it went. I knew it. We've talked about it at length. I've discussed this as a possibility, but I remain firmly under the belief that we do hold these areas as support and that we do move up. Yeah. Let's see. Daily RSI rejecting the 50. That's no bueno, but maybe we can find support around here at the 40. We did go a little bit below the 40, which is not what I was intending, but whatever, who cares? This is still a fine area to find support. We found support just below here, just above here, just above here, there, just above here, there. Right here at this level, right here at this level, right here at this level. It happens. It's not the most convenient area, the most conventional area, but it does happen. The MACD, in my opinion, would suggest that we're going to find support here. The stochastics would as well. So I'm really not timid of the lower price action. If we do see a lower low, I can't imagine it goes too much lower. We're just waiting for that next rip to the upside, and I think it's going to come any day now. I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of this week we were well above above $600 again. If we were closing this week above $600, but time will tell. I'm not seeing enough on the shorter term time frames to suggest that we're moving up right now. But the daily time frame is definitely ready for a bounce. It definitely is. So if we go lower, it's not going to be much lower in price, and it won't be much lower in time or longer in time. We should be recovering pretty soon. And overall, I do expect that we'll break out of this to the upside. Right? Massive, massive growth is coming, you guys. It is coming. Just got to be patient. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. One last shout out to the Dragon Riders. The monthly time frame just looks immaculate. It looks so it's ready to go. We're just waiting on it. We're waiting on it to go. 5 days, 9 hours left in this month. If we could close here or higher, If we close this month red, here's a little fun fact for you. This will be the highest closing price of a red monthly candle close that we've had since 2021. It'll be the highest red candle close since 2021. So not bad for a bad month. But we're only down 3.7%. If in the next 5 days and 9 hours we can pump up above that, we can flip this month green, and I think we will. I think that would look better, personally. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.